For this activity, I just created a piece of writing paper. I don't have block paper with me right now. So some of you may have the Handwriting Without Tears block paper, and you can certainly use that for your practice. I just wanted to show too how you don't have to have the actual block paper to do this activity. You can just create your own. I just took a light color piece of paper and drew some faint lines to give a visual reminder of where the letter should stop and bump the line. So we can practice on our letters that we've already started in the classroom. So these are the letters that we've started practicing. And also notice in the email, I put the link for the Handwriting Without Tears song, Where Do You Start Your Letters? And so we sing that a lot, or we just use it as a little bit of a verbal reminder if we see somebody starting their letters from the bottom or in the opposite direction. So these are the letters we'll be working with just as a review. And then we will be working on, when we return to class, our next letter is T. So you see these are straight line letters, and that's how the program works. We begin with the straight line letters. So what I'm going to do is, maybe I'll lift up this a little bit. So I'll see if this helps a little bit. So what I do when we're practicing letters, so even in the box, so if I'm going to practice L on my first line. If I'm using the box paper, some of the paper has the starting places, but some don't. So you don't have to, so if you want to start with 1, 2, or 3 starting places, and then you can fade it and see where your child is. But then again, if your child is not forming the letter, certainly use hand over hand. And so what we're going to do is we remember that we start our letters at the top, and these are the letters that we're going to practice. So in the first, we're going to little big line down, little line at the bottom. And just as a reminder, sometimes we even put the little bump in there. Big line down, bump, little line at the bottom. Big line down, bump, little line at the bottom. And so you can have your child keep practicing that across. And then for the next, so maybe you just put the 3 starting places just as a probe, and then you can always fade them out. But if your child needs them, certainly use those. So for our next letter, big line down, jump to the top, little line at the top, little line in the middle. Big line down, bump, little line at the top, little line in the middle. Big line down, bump, little line at the top, little line in the middle. Okay, so, and then we'll just keep going. So you can have them practice across the page. A lot of times, once they get into the rhythm of it, if they see that there's more space, they'll just go for it. So our next letter is E. Now these are all review letters, but we never stop practicing them. So for this one, it sounds like F. Big line down, bump, little line at the top, little line in the middle, little line at the bottom. Big line down, bump, little line at the top, little line in the middle, little line at the bottom. Big line down, bump, little line at the top, little line in the middle, little line at the bottom. All right, so we're working through our letters here. So I'm going to move on to H. This is the one that we last practiced in the classroom. We did not introduce T yet. That's our next letter. So for this one, sounds a bit the same. Big line down, bump, jump. Big line down, bump, and put a table in the middle. Now, I probably did that opposite, all right, so I'll demonstrate. So I'm left-handed, and if your child's left-handed, you might see, instead of bringing the line across this way, they bring the line across this way. I mean, I would make maybe 1 or 2 attempts to fix it, but in the end, it's an H. So big line down, bump, big line down, bump, table in the middle. Big line down, bump, jump, big line down, bump, jump, table in the middle. Okay, so it's about with Hand Without Tears. It's also about creating that verbal memory too, of a consistent way to say it, and so that's part of it. So the kids can repeat some of this to themselves as they work through their letters. And then I do have space at the bottom, so if you have any extra space, you might want to have them write their name. But definitely use hand over hand because, it's still a learning process. And if you only wanted to work on L, give that a try. And then whatever your child does produce, you can go ahead and take a picture of that and send it to me. But do listen to the song. I think that hooks the kids in a little bit. And you can use your body to demonstrate top, middle, and bottom. Or just even something like a stick or a crayon, top, middle, bottom. And the kids seem to enjoy that song. So have fun with that.